Welcome. In this video, we shall be learning how to duplicate modules. When I say duplicate, I simply means if you want a module to be more than one, that particular module, if you want it to be more than one on your website, you can actually do that by duplicating that particular module. Alright, I'll, as usual, make sure that my database and server are up and running. Once I've checked that, I will minimize and then I'll go to my website. Alright, in my front page, I have different modules which you already know. Now let's say, for example, this particular module called the image module, I want it to be 2 on my website. I want to duplicate it. You can actually triplicate it if possible. But let's duplicate it. I want it to be 2. I want one to be up just the way it is, and I want the other one to be at the bottom here. Now all I simply need to do, I need to find out what position do we have at the bottom here. So I would simply go to this tab, scroll down. Okay, there's a particular position here called the footer. Let's assume I want it to be at the bottom here. Okay. Alright, so I'll simply go back to my back end to do the duplication, and I will have to come into where I have my modules, and I'm still inside my module manager. All the modules are still arranged in one page, and the module which I want to duplicate now is the image module. So all I need to do is to simply scroll down and look for the image module. Okay, this is my image module which is in position 3. I want to duplicate it. I want to make it 2. To do that, I would have to simply come beside it where I have this box, and then I will click on it by checking it. Once I've checked it, I will now come up. You'll see something here, a button called duplicate. All I'll simply do is click on it. Once I click on it, it will give me a message, one module successfully duplicated. Okay, so all I need to do is look for that image module which has been duplicated by simply scrolling down. Right, I have image module. This is the original image module, and then I now have the other image module 2 which has been duplicated. Okay, I've simply duplicated my image module by making it 2. But if you notice, there is a sign here, a cross sign. Any module with a cross sign simply means it is not published. Now remember, when something is not published, it won't show in our front end, right? Right. Now this image module which we duplicated is also going to be in position 3 if we leave it this way. But like I said, we would not leave it in position 3. We want it to be at the bottom. Before we do that, if I want to publish this particular module, all I need to do, instead of clicking here and then going the usual way of publishing, I could either click on this box and then I will now come here and click on publish, or I click here, I go into the module and then I will click on publish, or I'll simply come to this box here which is straightforward and click on it. Once I click on it, it will give me a message, one module successfully published. So all I need to do is scroll down to it, image module. So I think I passed it. Okay, fine. This is the image module 2. This is the original image module. This is the other image module 2, which has been published. Before it was having a red X sign. Alright. If I go to my front end now and then scroll up and I decide to refresh, let me see what effect that will have. Look at it. it has duplicated this module. Now we have it too. Okay, but now I don't want it to be in this position. I want it to be in another position under. So all I need to do is go back to my backend and go back to this particular image module 2 and try to change the position of the module. All I need to do that is, as usual, I'll click on it. Once I click on it, it brings me here, and I'll simply go to position. Now this is where I'll change the position from. I'll click on it and make sure I'm under protostar, which is my active template. I have a position under called debug position. I go back here, I scroll down, there's a position here called debug. If I want it to appear here, I'll simply choose that. But let's go back. I'll go back to position again and then scroll down to protostar. I have the search, no, I don't want it to be there. Navigation, which is position 1, which is where we have our top module. I don't want it there. There's a position here called breadcrumbs. I actually expected it to show us a position here called breadcrumbs, and that breadcrumbs is actually at the bottom here where you have this home. You have a position here called breadcrumbs, but it's not actually showing us that particular position. So what we'll simply do, since I already know that that position should be there, I'll simply come to my position, and if I click on breadcrumbs, assuming I click on breadcrumbs and I click on save, and I go back to my front end and I decide to refresh, it has taken that away and it has brought it down. Okay, so there's a position here called breadcrumbs, which did actually show us here. Okay, let's assume I want to put it in this position called footer. We just simply go back and then we go to position and then we scroll down to position called footer, which is this. If I click on it and I click on save, and then I go back home and I refresh, notice it takes it away from that breadcrumb position and it brings it to this particular site called the footer. I don't think it doesn't look nice. I think it would be better if I leave it in the breadcrumb position. So all I'll simply do is go back to my backend and then go back to position and then scroll down. Okay, I'm already down to the minimum, so I'll just go up. Under protostar, I'll click on breadcrumb position. There are other positions, then I'll click on breadcrumb position. Once I click on it, then I'll click on save. Go back to my front end and then I will simply refresh. Once I refresh, it's back to the breadcrumb position. Now we can actually change this particular image. If we don't want it to be a duplicate, we don't want it to show the same image, we want to show a different image, you can actually do that. Remember, if you want this image to be in this particular position here, it's possible. All you need to do is just change the position to this particular position. Alright, or this position here. It depends on which position which you want. You're the one building your website, you're the one who knows how you want your website to look like. So it all depends on you, provided you know what you're doing. Alright, what I want to do now is change this image. So I'll simply go back to my backend. Since I'm still inside this particular image module which I just duplicated, which is image module 2, remember how you manipulated your image module in your image module video when you were managing it. All I need to do, if I go to basic options, I have select a background image as if you want an image to be at the background. I hope you can still remember that. If I go to advanced options, all I need to do is change what I want to change here, but we're not, that's not what we're interested in. So I go to custom output. This is where I will change the image from. All I need to do is click on it and then click on delete on my system, my keyboard, or I right click and I click on delete. Once it's gone, for me to bring another image here, I'll simply go to image, then I'll choose from existing images. Like I told you, we'll be learning how to upload images which we want onto Joomla, your own images. The images we have here now are just the images that came with Joomla, but later you shall be learning how to upload images, other images onto Joomla. The only image which we've uploaded here is this our logo. Alright. I want to change the image now. I'll go to banner. Sorry, I'll go to headers. You have other images here, but let me go to the folder called headers. And I want to change the image to this. Alright, let me change it to this. So all I need to do is simply click on that and then I'll click on insert. Once I've done that, I will now click on save. Once I click on save, I'll go back to my front end and then I'll refresh. Fine, it has changed this image to what I chose, so it's actually looking different from the image which I have above. Okay, now if I go back to my back end, remember you also have menu assignments. This is where you can specify where you want that particular module, which page and which page you want that particular module to show. And I'm sure you can still remember how to go about that. Alright, that is all about, I'll simply come up with my front end. That's all about duplicating of modules. If you want to duplicate this module called main menu, it's the same process. To duplicate this module here called the top, you can actually do that. If you want to duplicate this also, you want this search to be somewhere else, you can do that. If you want this module to be doubled also, you can do the same. You can do the same for every module which you have here. But I don't think it will look nice if you have two search modules on the same page or two main menu modules on the same page. It won't really look nice. But for images, it's quite okay. You can have more than one image on a particular site. Alright, that is that for this lesson. Thank you. See you in the next video.